What's up, everybody? It's your boy Jamal from DAB, and today we're about to tackle an undeniably interesting subject. Who was the first black superhero? Well, the answer might surprise you, so let's get into it. It's DAB. Over the years, especially in the last decade, we have had a plethora of international superstar black excellent actors grace the television screen and the big screen, especially on the silver screen with the CW shows, Netflix adaptations, and many more. Just to name a few: Candice Patton, a beautiful black actor that plays Iris West on The Flash. David Ramsey, who played John Diggle in Green Arrow. Also, Don Cheadle, who played Rhodey in Iron Man. Tony Stark's right-hand man, who was ultimately War Machine. So you've had your pick and your fill of black actors. But the question remains, who was the first? Well, we're about to break it down. There were many actors in the early 90s which would take a stamp at the black superhero iconic role, because during that time we had to fill a gap, and it is something that was needed during that time. Some very honorable mentions: Wesley Snipes' Blade. I remember going to see that, my dad taking me to go see Blade. All three movies. I'll never forget, man, you know, his iconic landing, slicing and dicing vampires and then flicking that blade and then they all turn to dust. Like, come on, that's just iconic, man. Then of course Michael J. White, you know, Spawn. I still remember going to the theaters to see that. That was crazy. And you know, those were what we had as superheroes, and those are awesome dudes. Those awesome early 90s. But even so, as magnificent and glorious as they were, there was still a couple more black phenomenal actors that have basically captured the iconic pop culture experience as of late. Black Lightning. How can we forget Black Lightning? Definitely an honorable mention. That was definitely a groundbreaking television series that premiered in 2018. It was celebrated for its positive representation of the black family. The show followed the life of Jefferson Pierce, a retired superhero who was forced to return to crime fighting to protect his family and his community. The series' portrayal of the Pierce family, which depicted a loving, supportive family unit that forecasted important values such as education, community involvement, and standing up against injustice and being a upstanding member of your community. Usual negative stereotypes that have long plagued the black characters in media, which often portray them as criminals, gangsters, thugs, or other harmful tropes. Black Lightning is an inspiring example of what any black young man or woman can do if they put their minds to it. I truly believe that. It was truly inspiring example of positive representation and was used to definitely empower and uplift underrepresented communities, and its impact definitely was felt by viewers around the world. And so Black Lightning was definitely important, especially to me. Luke Cage, also known as Power Man, that was a Marvel Comics superhero who gained widespread popularity through his portrayal in the Netflix television series Luke Cage, which premiered in 2016. The project and the character itself is known for his superhuman strength and unbreakable skin, which he uses to fight crime and protect his community as well in the slums of Harlem, New York. In addition, his physical abilities, Luke Cage is also characterized by his strong sense of morality and dedication to justice. The actor that portrayed that, Mike Coulter, played the role of Luke Cage in the series, bringing a powerful, dynamic performance to the character. So that is another awesome black character that we were fortunate to see, and there's some similarities with Luke Cage and Black Lightning, as well as 2 other superheroes. We're starting to get into the thick of it now. We got to do it for Black History Month, man. It's Black History Month, so what other video would be more appropriate to use other than talking about black heroes and its foundation at its very core? The next black superhero that I believe was the second, or yes, was the second, and it was the first of its kind. It was called Mantis. It was a groundbreaking television series from the 1990s that featured a black superhero as its lead character. The show starred Carl Lumbly as Dr. Miles Hawkins, a scientist who becomes paralyzed after a gunshot wound and invents a high-tech exoskeleton suit that gives him the ability to walk and fight crime as the superhero Mantis. This series was also noted for its positive representation of blacks, and for a black superhero, it was a rarity to be seen in mainstream media at that time. It was definitely one of the first of its kind. Lumbly's powerful and nuanced performance helped bring the character to life, and his portrayal of Dr. Hawkins and depth and emotional resonance to the series. Despite its short run, Mantis remains an important milestone in the history of black superheroes in the media, and its impact is still felt today. This next hero, Meteor Man. Meteor Man started in 1993. A superhero film that centers around Jefferson Reed, a mild-mannered schoolteacher who gains superhero abilities after being struck in the chest by a meteor, played by the actor Robert Townsend. He uses his newly found powers to fight crime and protect his family once again in the inner city. So that's something that Meteor Man, Mantis, and Black Lightning and Luke Cage all had in common. Next up, of course, we couldn't say this video without mentioning the late and great Chadwick Boseman. His portrayal of T'Challa was regal, elegant, and most powerful, as it definitely moved a whole nation and filled young black men and women with pride. The character Black Panther is a groundbreaking figure in the world of superhero media. Boseman's performance definitely brought him to life. Phenomenal job, something that I believe no other person could capture at that time. You know, like I said, he was more than a superhero. He was a symbol. He, you know, showed strength, intelligence, cunning, just like any of his Caucasian counterparts in the superhero world. And he definitely was a talent that was out of this world, and a genius and one of a kind when it comes to acting, and his breakdown and his portrayal of the character T'Challa. But to the source of the video, who is the first black superhero, and in my opinion almost has like the best abilities? Well, I'll tell you who. It's none other than Walter Jones, the original black mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Walter Jones, yes, the original black Power Ranger, is considered by many to be the most iconic figure in children's television programming. He was the first black man to have a lead role in an action franchise and had a undeniable mark on pop culture as we know it. Nobody can deny that, and not enough people give him his flowers and respect. This man had a run that stretched from 1992 to 1997, and being that he started in 1992 when the film and the franchise came over from Japan, from Super Sentai, he started filming in 1992. That makes him the first black superhero to ever don a superhero outfit on live television. He's the first. Walter Jones, the Black Ranger. Let's get into some facts about Walter Jones, the Black Ranger. For those who don't know Power Rangers, there are about 5 students chosen by a mythical entity named Zordon. Jason Scott Lee, aka the Red Ranger, Trini Kwan, the Yellow Ranger, Kimberly Hart, the Blue Ranger, Billy Cranston, Kimberly Hart, the Pink Ranger, Billy Cranston, the Blue Ranger, Zach Taylor, the Black Ranger. And these 5 teenagers with attitude is something that is so iconic, and the nostalgia is something that'll never be seen again. They each use these special weapons called power blasters and have their own individual weapons, and they used these morphers that tapped into the morphing grid, an ancient force akin to the speed force for the Flash. They used these abilities to transform into the mighty Morphin Power Rangers. To me, you know, I believe the Black Panther could beat literally any the Black Power Ranger could beat the Black Panther, in my opinion. Just the character now we're talking about. The Black Power Ranger is really the strongest black superhero ever. Like, you know, I mean, come on now. I mean, these dudes can jump from ground level up to like 20 stories, landing on massive kaiju zords, right? I mean, come on. Falling from great heights, you know, debris, all type of stuff, power blast. Like, I mean, to be honest, they started that anime stuff, you know, these stuff you see in anime, and their power struggling like that. I mean, come on, Power Rangers started that, you know, so come on, you got to give credit where it's due. And Walter Jones, like I said, he doesn't get enough credit as being the first black superhero, and he really was. I mean, you could really research it and find out. That's what I did. So yeah, Zach Taylor, man, growing up as a kid, like, he was really just that fly dude every young black dude wanted to be growing up. If you were black and you were watching Power Rangers, I mean, the wave that it had spread across like wildfire. You wanted to be the Black Ranger because he was the coolest, you know. Jason was the charismatic leader. Zach was the, you know, cool, hip-hop, dancing, laid-back, swag kind of vibe, you know. And he also, one of the key things that a lot of people forget about Zach is that back then these guys were doing their own stunts. Zach Taylor was often noted choreographing his own martial arts stunts back then. Yes. And was also known for choreographing between takes, coming up with choreography. So again, Zach Taylor, the Black Power Ranger from the 90s television series, Zach possessed incredible physical strength, agility, and martial arts skills that allow him to take on even the most challenging foes. In addition to his fighting abilities, Zach was also known for his cool, charismatic personality, which made him a fan favorite. His confident and outgoing demeanor was a source of inspiration for many children who looked up to him as a role model. In addition to his on-screen character, Walter Jones brought his own charisma and charm to the role, which made Zach Taylor an even more memorable and iconic figure in pop culture. Again, like I said, even I looked up to him. Together, the character's powers and personality made the Black Power Ranger a symbol of strength, courage, and individuality. And that's something that the Power Rangers will always be known for. The original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So that's it. It's Black History Month. I had to do it. The first black superhero to air live on television was Zack Taylor, Walter Jones, aka the Black Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, like, share, click those notifications. Please consider subscribing to our Patreon and joining the Dabverse today. See you in the next one.